So this is my boat and my Troopy, and I've just spent the last 6 months modifying this to travel around Australia. And today's day one. Day one of this lap around Oz, and also starting, growing and making $1,000 from a YouTube channel. Let me explain. So 2 years ago, we had this crazy urge just to sort of sell everything, buy a troop carrier and a boat, and sort of just live out of that for a little while and travel around Australia and just, I don't know, live a real minimalistic sort of life for a little while. 18 months later, the Troopy finally arrived, and I had a bit of an idea to sort of film the build process and document the whole journey on social media. The plan was to build like a really aesthetically looking troop carrier, I guess, at the same time like the ultimate overlander. The idea was to gain a bit of attention on social media and then maybe one day see how it goes, potentially make like a bit of a business out of it or something. Long story short, I exceeded all my expectations I had. I managed to build my social media channels to a combined audience of over 200,000, and yeah, in that 6 months period I also sort of managed to monetize what I was doing and monetize myself as a creator, and I guess create like a little bit of a business out of it. Feeling like I'd sort of already accomplished my goal and what I'd set out to do, I began thinking like, well, what's next? The lap of Australia hasn't even begun yet. So a couple months ago, I filmed and put together my first YouTube video, and it was actually on the troop carrier's roof conversions. And to say the least, like I really enjoyed the process, the actual filming and the whole editing behind it. I began researching and I dove a little bit deeper into sort of the full monetization process for YouTube, and I guess how much some of these creators can make in monthly revenue, and sort of just how hard it is to get there. To be honest, there was a lot of information out there on the internet, but there was nothing that really gave me like a straightforward answer. I made myself a bit of a plan and set myself a goal, and it's to just obviously make some videos, post them on YouTube, and see how long it takes to make $1,000 in YouTube revenue. I've got absolutely no idea how long it will take. I don't know how many videos I'll have to do to even be eligible for YouTube monetization, but I thought it'd be a good idea just to do it, to film it, to document the journey, and I guess share the process along the way. A goal of mine is to, I guess, better myself as a videographer. So the thought process behind the YouTube videos is not any way to become a vlogger or anything like that, but to create almost short form film and like storytelling type videos, which will help me learn more and become better and more valuable, I guess, as a filmmaker or a content creator. What sort of videos will I be making? To be honest, I have no idea, and I think it's probably something that I'll sort out and figure out along the way. There is one video that I've promised that I will do for a long time, and I know a lot of you guys have asked me to do it, so I think it's about time to do a full rig rundown and answer the forbidden question. And that forbidden question: how much did this build cost me, and how much is it all worth? Now, those who have been following me on TikTok or Instagram or whatever, I'm sure you guys are aware that the sponsorships have been a massive part of this build. Now, there were a lot of mods done to this car, and a lot of them weren't in my original plan, I guess. So a lot of them were only made possible due to the opportunities that I had through content creation and social media. I was tossing up for a long time I was always going to do like a full build rundown for this, but whether to announce the actual cost or value of the Troopy, if you prefer. It was by far the most asked question, and yeah, I was umming and ahhing for a long time, but I've finally given in, and I'm going to give you guys a full rundown as well as a total value of the car. The car itself is a 2023 Toyota Land Cruiser Troop Carrier 78 series. It's a V8. It was built in August 2023, so it was a cut-off limit just before the new facelift model. The car bought brand new from factory, and it cost me $85,000. It's been engineered for a 4.2 tonne GVM, and I'll run through all the suspension components and everything so you can understand sort of why or how I got that 4.2 tonne GVM upgrade. There are a couple of things I'm not going to cover in this build for obvious reasons. Like, I did spend a lot of money, and I've got probably 5 or 6 different like anti-theft devices, and yeah, for obvious reasons I'm not going to dive into them and tell you guys what they are and where they are and all that. So start with front grille. Front grille was from PVS Automotive, and it cost me $225. The badge itself, I actually get asked a lot about this, but this was from eBay, and it cost me $150. This front bar is from Off-Road Creative, and I think the total cost of that was $4,050. This winch was from Ultra Winches, and that was $768. Custom number plate, obviously from the Department of Transport, but that was $578. Custom aftermarket headlights, these were from Bushduff in Perth, they were $1,600. And a Safari R-Max snorkel was $578. This sun visor, I get asked a lot about this sun visor. Apparently they're quite hard to find, but this was actually from eBay and it cost me $245, I think. This awning is a Clever Shade awning. It's a lightweight awning, 270 degree awning, and this cost $2,375. This gull wing, can't tell you what company it was from, but it was somewhere in Europe and it cost me $800. And the car has actually got a full paint protection film wrap, and that was from Bush Wraps. That cost me $1,380. These flares, they are fiberglass flares from FRP. They were $750 for a set of 4, and they cost me $400 to paint. And this flare extension and the mud flaps, I reckon $100 for a set of 4. They're all from Bunnings and very easy to do. The side steps or rock sliders or whatever you call them, they were from Rock Armour, I think, and they were $848. So the tyres are Maxxis Razors. They are 315s. I don't actually like them. A couple of reasons why, and I'm looking to change, but they cost me $3,000 for a set of 6. And the rims, they are ROH Vapors. They're 17-inch rims on a Neg 12 offset, and they cost me $2,606 for a set of 6 as well. I actually went for a full brake upgrade on this car as well. They basically took off the hubs, machined them down, and fit 200 series brake components on there, as well as fully braided brake lines. That was done at Packard Automotives in Perth, and that cost me $3,133. For the suspension, it's obviously a component for the GVM upgrade. It's a Superior Engineering 2.5 remote res shock kit. It's all heavy duty, and the cost of that is $9,050. Obviously can't actually see it, but there is a NPC Performance 1600 Newton meter clutch in here. That was installed by Packard Automotives in Perth as well, and that was $2,216. For the track correction and also a component of the 4.2 tonne GVM upgrade, I went for a full diff housing replacement. I went with the Dwiz diff. It was installed by Packard Automotives in Perth as well, and that was $4,750. The exhaust is a 3.5-inch exhaust system from Torkit. That was $2,190. And before you ask, yes, the DPF is still in. So this utility hatch is from Arc Earth Products in Perth. That was $340, and I also have a 51 litre drinking water tank from Arc Earth as well, and that was about $1,200. So there is another 90 litre water tank, the main water tank, which is what we use for our showering and that. That was $1,730, and that is from Long Range Automotive. I don't know if it is from Long Range Automotive. Yeah, it is. Twin tyre carrier rear bar from Thorburns Fabrication, and that is $4,000. These two rear tyre bags, absolute game changer. They were from Blacksmith Camping Supplies, and they were about $500 for 2. So the roof conversion was done by Headspace Campers. I actually did a full rundown and a walkthrough of it in my last YouTube video I did. This is it's a standard model. There's 3 different models. This is a standard one with the majority of the premium model upgrades. I'm going to say it was about $20,000 for the roof conversion. And the roof rack, that is a Rhino rack. It's a Platform 6 with their backbone system. It was about $1,700. However, it was a bit of a pain in the ass to fit because they don't actually make them to fit these Headspace campers. So under the bonnet, best upgrade in the whole troopy. Gas struts. So under here from Perth Diesel Performance, we have a secondary fuel filter kit. That was $489. We got the Perth Diesel Performance diff breathers, and that was $189. G-Turbo airbox, that was $1,395. G-Turbo also did a tune, which I think was about $1,500. There's a twin diaphragm brake booster that was part of the brake upgrade. That's from Terrain Tamer, and that was $780. And there's also a brushless alternator from Rapid Power down there that was put in by Packard Automotives, and that was $2,840. All right, to start with the interior, when this thing was gutted, we did a full sound deadening kit from Car Builders. That was, I think, the best kit you could do for the Troopy, and that was $1,188. These seats are from Hurricane Fabrication. They're premium leather touring seats, and that was $2,730 for the set of two. We have a cruiser console, aftermarket center console. This thing, absolute game changer as well. I don't know if you've ever seen the Land Cruisers, the one they come out with. They're pretty pathetic. So this one, cruiser consoles, and that was $1,100. Head unit, another Perth-based company, VDR, that was $1,000. And the UHF Uniden, if that's how you pronounce the name, Uniden, I think, that was $1,000 as well. From PVS Automotive, this is a 300 series steering wheel. This was $1,600. I believe they are the only ones that can actually give you the aftermarket steering wheel, and they are ADR approved. And we also got a Hemmer Maps unit. We haven't really used it much yet, but that was $838. One stone armrests, absolute must have if you have a 70 series Land Cruiser. I think they're about $150, probably the cheapest upgrade you would do. Door cards, can't remember where they were from. No, don't know where they were from, but they were about $700 for the two. And these speaker pods, they were from Cruiser Consoles, and they were $250 for the two. All right, for the electrical system in this, there was a mixture between RedArc and Allspark. The full battery management system is from RedArc. The total value of that is $4,867. And there is solar and two 150 amp hour lithium batteries from Allspark, and that was $4,970 worth. The guy who did the installation for all this electrical work, not going to say who it was or whatever, but it was $13,000 just for consumables and labour, which I think is pretty ridiculous, and the job isn't even done yet. But yeah, so about $5,000 RedArc, $5,000 Allspark, and $13,000 for the install and consumables. So I've got these utility panels. They were from Mission 4x4 in Perth, and I think they were about $900 for both of them. These utility rolls are from Blacksmith Camping Supplies as well. They really handy. We've got our toiletries in one and our utility, like our knives and forks and all that, in the other. That was $358 for two. This rear drop down table, I got this from Odyssey Custom Fit Outs. That was $500. And these two first aid kits from Survival First Aid, I'm not sure how much they were. This setup, these blades, knives, and all that are from Half Breed Blades. These are, I haven't actually used them a lot yet. They're probably more for show than anything, but I think they were about $350 each. So yeah, that total setup's about $1,400. Back to this side. This is EcoX soundbar. That was $599. Tucked away behind here in the quarter panel is an ARB twin compressor, which was $755. And this is an 85 litre upright fridge from Bushman. That was $1,500. Awesome fridge. I'm glad I went for the upright because I needed the extra room up the top for sort of a work area. But it's probably just not quite big enough. Like, I don't know, it's just because we eat a lot of food, but we always seem to be trying to shove stuff in there. All right, so the full interior fit out was done by Toby at Odyssey Custom Fit Outs in Perth. Labour, the actual fit out itself, and a little bit of plumbing work cost me $13,954. The cushions itself were also from Odyssey Custom Fit Outs, and I think they were $1,450. And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much the rundown of the car. Obviously, there's been a lot of money put into it, a lot of work put into it. In regards to the work done to the car, like labour expenses, it's a bit of a hard one to work out because I did get some stuff done for free in regards to labour. Some stuff I got discounted, some stuff I paid full price for. So apart from the labour from the electrical and the labour from the interior fit out, I think the other labour charges, all the suspension and everything else that was done, probably totals about $25,000, which is a lot. So the full cost of the build, or value if you prefer, is up around the $240,000 mark. So yeah, it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money, but it's my pride and joy. I'm going to be living in it for a little while, traveling around this lap around Australia. So yeah, no expenses were spared, I guess.